atụrụ mmadụ na-egbu mmadụ kwee n'ihi Biafra onye ọwụ onye ohi
ndị Igbo ga-enu ntị o
onye ọbụla pụtara nọ na-ezu ohi na-agba ama na-atụrụ ndị mmadụ na-eme ihe niile ndị a niile kwere na iyi IPOB onye ọwụ onye ohi ka ọwa IPOB ka mmadụ. We are here to fight for freedom, for justice, equity and fairness. That's what we're fighting for. Nothing more, nothing less. And we cannot be cowed by anybody. We are without fear before our enemies. And we speak the truth always. I want all the journalists here arrayed to go and ask them, ask government of Nigeria, what happened to treasonable felons? Where are those charges today?
On 2015.
They have just disappeared because they have no evidence against me. Anybody committing crime cannot go scot-free. I swear it. They cannot go scot-free. Anybody involved in any type of crime in the East cannot go free. And they're doing it because I'm in DSS. That's why if I said no idiot can try this rubbish, and they know it very well. They know it very well. And I suspect that some people in government are complicit. Yes. They are making money with insecurity.
That's correct.
They're making money with it. They know now the Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop. Who is the idiot? Who is the bagger? That will speak when I'm talking. Who is the fool? Who is the idiot? I ask. That I give an order in the East, and any idiot will counter it. Who is the bastard? I'm asking you. Nobody can.
Sir, are you
I'm on the Kanu. Who is the idiot?
Rubbish. No, don't. No, man. No.
What is it?
Can you tell us the ongoing killings in the East in the name of IPOB? What is your stand on that?
Anybody involved in any form of violence or insecurity in the Southeast,
In the name of IPOB.
in the name of IPOB, is a gunner, and they know it. Let me come out of this nonsense, this mess. 2 minutes only.
There will be peace
Only 2 minutes, I guarantee you.
and tranquility.
And there will be peace in the East, not just Southeast. Everywhere in the East, if not the entire South. Huh?
Yes.
That is No, I want the hand. One here. There will be justice. There will be justice. There is nothing under heaven. I'm going to get more jack. Who is the back? So there is nothing under heaven that cannot be revealed. Are you getting? Whoever plays the role he plays, if man does not see the person, God sees the person, and God will bring that person to judgment. And whoever is doing what the judge is doing, that's such. So it's the court is also entitled to change its mind as well, depending on the strength of the argument.
Thank you.
So we hope that they will change their mind.
They are using it to do experiment against SSS.
Exactly. So there is no way we're going to allow that to happen. My rights must be respected.
It's important.
My right to fair hearing must be observed and obeyed.
Understand that.
They brought him to Kenya into this
That is
talk
key.
and
That's
allow
the
him
main
to talk
issue.
with that his
You were
lawyer.
talking about your health condition. What exactly is wrong with you, sir?
I have
Health-wise?
congenital heart failure. Congestive heart failure is called. From the medication, you can tell. So they're basically trying to keep me alive. So that when they calculate that I'm about to give up, that my heart is about to pack up, they will now say go. So when I go outside, I will die outside. That's what they're trying to do.
The medications they've been giving to you
Yes.
has not been working.
It's not working. If it's working, why would I have all these lumps underneath my...
And he has written a petition to the Nigerian Medical Association where they brought one quack doctor, somebody who is not a doctor, to treat him.
to come and try and treat me.
But up to now, they have not.
They don't know what they're doing.
And they know they don't know what they're doing. Or else, why would I have this?
As long as it remains in DSS custody, there won't be
There will be no
trial.
trial.
So what is your application for?
Is seeking for a non-custodial arrangement by the court.
You said house arrest.
Exactly. I don't mind house arrest because I'll defeat them. In this court, I'll defeat the government of Nigeria. Here, the whole world will see it. Where is the treasonable felon? Where is it? All these years, journalists are shouting treasonable, treason. What's the treason today? It's gone. In some way, this terrorism charge will go. I'm thinking of another capital offense that can charge me with. Maybe, I don't know, impregnating the wife of somebody. I don't know what other thing they're going to charge
Are you
you.
saying you are innocent of all these charges?
The federal government, they know I'm not guilty. My only guilt is that I'm fighting for my people. And I will fight for them.
Okay, sir, last
For justice and fairness and equity everywhere.
Last question. Has your family been able to...
Anybody using IPOB to commit crime is a criminal. It's not part of this family. Our family is based on 4 cardinal points. You must be without fear before your enemies. You must speak the truth always, even if it leads to your death. You must help the poor and those who cannot help themselves, and be of good character that God may love thee. That's who we are.
So what will be your words to those out there in the East who are killing in the name of IPOB?
That they are criminals. They are criminals. They are not part of this family. We are called a family for a reason. We've come to serve our people, not to enslave them. Anybody conducting any type of activity that contravenes the welfare of our people is a criminal and must be dealt with.
Thank you very much, sir.
Any form of violence or subversion in the name of Biafra is not part of this family. Our family is noble. It's called IPOB. It's all over the world.
So you condemn anything that has to do with killing?
In total, why would I kill?
And violence.
People have sacrificed my parents for them. Why would I want to kill any other person after that? Huh?
Anybody who's committing crime in the name of IPOB
is a criminal.
When people demand water, they get shot at and killed by the government. When people demand better living conditions, the response of the state is to kill those people. We're fighting against that. When the students demand free education, they get locked up by the regime.
Asị ka ọ bụ. Nke a ndị ji asị na-eri nri. Ịgbara ndị Fulani odibo. Nchi iwu osote onye isi n'obodo Nigeria. Ọ mgbe m nọ n'ụlọ iko ka m ga-etinye ha n'aka akwụkwọ. Si ha agaghị m emezi Biafra ọzọ. Unu bịa ka mgbara unu odibo. Ka ndị ọzọ si agbara ha odibo. Ha rịọrọ m njụ. Nsị na aga m ahapụ nwere onwe ha n'azọ. Kwee n'ihi ndị ya niile maka ọdịmma nke ha nwa na nke ụmụ ha ma nke ụmụ ha ga-abịa n'ihi na agwara m ha okwu m si ha oge mgbe Zik a na-agwa Zik mgbe ọ na-eji ike na-akọwara Zik si ya na ebe ị na-aga n'ụzọ adịghị ya ọ na-efe isi kpakakpaka mba ọwọ Naijiria ka anyị gaa n'ihu lekwa ọnọdụ anyị n'ụbọchị nke taa na-akọwakwara ndị ya sị ha ihe a Zik mere mgbe mbụ tinye anyị n'ụmị anyị nọ n'ime ya n'ụbọchị nke taa ọkwa ihe unu na-eme kedu ụzọ nwanne Nnamdi Kanu si na-eme ya na-emeju ya unu kọwara m ka m ghọta na m sị ma unu arụghị ogbe nke abụọ gafere River Niger na unu ga-arụ okporo ụzọ unu ga-emezi ebe niile ebe ụmụaka na-agụ akwụkwọ ọ ga-emezi ya emezi ọma mma ụlọ ọgwụ a ga-arụzi ya arụzi a ga-enwe ọkụ mmiri ga na-agba ọ ga-adịrị onye ihu na mma dịrị onye azụ na mma kedu ụzọ m si mejọ ndị dị etu a asị m na ụzọ m si na-eme ya na ọ dịghị mma njọ ha sị mbụ ngwa agha onwenye m gbara egbe onwenye m gburu mma onwenye m gbara ụta akwa sọsọ ozi ọma Chineke si m gbasa n'igwe okwu ka m na-agbasa kezie ka o si metụta unu ọ bụ gịnị mere unu a na-asị ka akpọta Nnamdi Kanu ka egbuo ya ọha na eze na ndị gọvanọ ọkwa na gịnị mere ndị herdsmen na-egbusi ndị mmadụ n'ugwu Awụsa ndị gọvanọ ha n'ugwu Awụsa kpọbe ka abịa gbusie ha inu anunugo na onwe onye na-achị ugwu Awụsa gọvanọ pụtara sị ka egbusie ndị herdsmen unu anunugo na onwe onye Yoruba pụtara sị ka egbusie ndị OPC ọgwụ na sọsọ ndị Igbo n'ihi na unu na-agbalịka ka unu ga-agbara ndị Fulani odibo onye pụta ọsị ka agbara Fulani odibo onye nsị na mụ agbọ Nnamdi Kanu agaghị m agbara Fulani odibo ha nwere ha kwesịrị gbara mụ odibo ihe na-esere mụ na ihe na-eme na ndị be anyị wụ na ha na-aghọtachi anyị na-eme ọfụma iji ọha ha sịra m chọrọ ikewapụ Biafra n'ime Nigeria na ọ bụghị ihe ziri ezi na iwu obodo ha akwadoghị ya. Nna ajụ ha sị ya ke ụzọ chọrọ isi imi ya. Asị na ọwụ ka aga mee ntuli aka elu, anyị bịanyecha aka atụcha vootu, aga na ebe a na-eme iwu anọrọ akpa ya ekwekọrịta, anyị gawa n'iru. Njụọ ha, ndị na-eme iwu obodo Naijiria mmadụ ole si Kano steeti pụta? 44. Ọ bụ mmadụ ole na-emekwe n'iwu a si Abia, Imo na Bayelsa pụta? Ha erughị sọsọ Kano steeti. Ọ bụzi ụzọ dị aṅaa ka ị ga-esi wee nweta ihe a ibu n'obi? Ebe ndị ọwa anyị na ha na-awụ nọchiri egburu agara agbachi ụzọ nọchi ebe niile, efe adịghị, ụzọ adịghị. Obere ihe unu kwesịrị ịrụ unu anaghị arụ ya. Nwatakịrị ihe wụ ogbe nkịtị ebe na-ebute mmanụ, na-ebute ukoro ọkụ ike a na-ebupụ, na-akpata ego bekee, wee na-eri ndị ugwu Awụsa ji na-eleta onwe ha mma. Wụnaba anyị ka o si bịa. Okporo ụzọ nkịtị unu ama nru Ọnịcha ruo Enugu. Kezi ihe ọzọ ị na-akọwara m, ọ bụ gịnị ka imepụta gworo ga-eme m ga-eji wee nwee ntụkwasị obi ebe ị nọ n'ihe ị na-ekwu na ị ga-emenwu ya na ọwa eziokwu? Ihe IPOB na-amakwa nnupụ isi ka anyị na-enupụ isi. Akwụkwọ na-ekwu na ilu a na-atụ n'Igbo, a sị mgbe ụfọdụ m okorobịa nwekwana ka onye ara na-alụnye ya nwaanyị. Ọkwana ihe anyị na-eme na mmegbu anyị na-emegbu anyị na ọ karịala, na ihe a na-eme anyị na ọ dịghị mma, ekunye agbagbuo anyị, ege ebe a akpọ ejide ebe anyị na-azụ ahịa laa ya n'iyi. Ha nwa na onwe ha enweghị ihe ha pụrụ ime. Ha niile na-agbara ndị Fulani odibo. Ị ga-abịa bịakwute nna gị okwu, sị nna gị okwu, ana m enupụ isi, nsị ha mmụọ awụ Nnamdị Kanu na m agbara ha odibo, uru ha bụ m ka mụ na ha mee ya. Ha ajụ ọhịa na-ese okwu, enweghị ihe ọzọ.
Since World War II, there has not been another tragedy that resembles the scope of the Holocaust in any way, but there are many cases in which the world stands on the side and does not prevent genocide and does not prevent mass murder. It can be Biafra or Cambodia or Rwanda or Sudan.
We do not have a date set aside to commemorate what happened in 1967.
I think there's no need for that because you'll be reopening old wounds.
It's not the duty of people who are not involved to deny the pain of people who are involved. In Nigeria, there's this big embargo about Biafra. You must never talk about Biafra. We have to move on. You have to forget. You have to just move on. Forget about it. But it's not the duty of people who are not there to forget. If the people who suffered want to forgive and forget, it's their prerogative and they can do that at their will. Well, Steve Jobs, has anybody read his autobiography? Yeah, he stopped going to church because he read about the Biafra war. He said, if Christians can do that to people, why should I worship that God? I don't agree with him, but that's his view. He felt so bad about the war. Bernard Kouchner, former French foreign minister, remember him in Kosovo, digging every last bone to understand what happened in Kosovo. But where did he start? He started in Biafra. He was there as a Red Cross volunteer. He resigned from the Red Cross. He said, we can't be impartial in such a situation. He founded Médecins Sans Frontières, MSF, because of the Biafra situation. And that's what Biafra did to him. John Lennon returned his MBE to the Queen because of the Biafra war.
As a protest against violence and war, especially Britain's involvement in Biafra, which most of the British public aren't aware of, because all the press, TV and radios slant all the news from Biafra. All the stuff I learnt on Biafra from journalists, off-the-cuff folks, is a different story, and I began to be ashamed of being British. And I'm a patriotic nationalist, if the truth will out, and Yoko can vouch for that. I'm always fighting about what Britain invented, radar, and what all the different things we've done. But every day I just began to worry a bit more about it, and I was going to send the MBE back anyway. I could have done it privately, but the press would have found out anyway. You would have been here a week later instead, less impact.
Jimi Hendrix was playing concerts to raise money for the children in Biafra. He was raising money to feed people like me. I would have died if those flights hadn't come in. 3,170 flights in 3 years wanted because there was no way to feed Biafra. And of course, part of the war strategy was to starve and kill everybody. Akanu Ibiam, he had all the awards from here. CBE, MBE, everything. Right up to the knighthood, he returned all of that to the Queen because of the war.
If you came away from some of the earlier tragedies of the Biafran War and some of the wars in Africa and the AIDS things I photographed, there wasn't enough darkness.
The next piece is also by Alex Baranovsky. It's called Biafra, and this was actually written for a documentary which just came out at the beginning of this year. The documentary is called McCullen, and it's about the very famous war photographer Don McCullen, who traveled around the world over the last 30, 40 years, taking the most extraordinary photographs, mostly of war-torn areas. And Biafra was a former province near to Nigeria, where they had a most horrendous civil war in the 1960s. And there was a particular colony, children's colony, which had been abandoned, and thousands of children were left there to die. And Don McCullen arrived at this place in Biafra to find all these children there. And the children thought that he had come to save them. But the truth was he was there as a photographer. He'd come to take photos.
You know, I'd walk into a school in Biafra and I would see 800 children dying. And as soon as they saw the white men coming, you could see they thought there was some hope at the end of the tunnel. And what did I bring them? I brought them 2 Nikon cameras around my neck. And I saw these children dropping down and dying in front of me. And you know, we live in a world now where the media isn't that particularly interested in the real tragedy in our lives.
And it was something that he just never really got over, never really recovered from. And Alex wrote this particular piece based on that, and it's in the film, which is the most extraordinary documentary. I would urge any of you to go and see it. It's just out, and it has picked up 2 BAFTA nominations, in fact, just recently. So this is Biafra by Alex Baranovsky.
Self-determination. Self-determination is not regarded as a crime in any nation of the world, including Nigeria, under Article 20 of Nigerian law, that's some African Charter, Article 20. Now, Kenya has a companion law. United Nations has a companion law. So when you take anybody to any court in any country in the world, and you tell that court, I want him in my country because he wants Biafra, they will tell you to go to hell. You're a kidnapper extraordinaire. Whether you are government or not, you're a rogue. You should not try anybody in court for wanting to not to belong, for wanting a separate nation. That's how Nigeria was founded, for God's sake, in 1960. Is it not? It's self-determination. That was how Midwest region was created in 1963. Is it not? That's how Nigeria lost Southern Cameroons to Cameroon. Is it not? Is that called referendum or plebiscite? And that's how Nigeria gained Adamawa, the former Southern province of Cameroons, into northern Nigeria. So why should that of Biafra be different? It's only a crime in Nigeria. IPOB is only a terrorist organization in Nigeria, but not a terrorist organization all over the world. That needs to tell you folks something. That is why Nigeria dodged and went by night, ambushed Mazin Nnamdi Kanu and kidnapped him. We cannot take a government to criminal court and jail a government, but we can call a government to answer to the civil courts of this country. There are courts in this country, so Nigerian government must answer to this court, like I argued before the court, upon
AIG, there are not a few who believe that the pace at which the Interpol International and Interpol Nigeria are working is quite interesting. They point to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed group, IPOB, it didn't take long for them to grab him from the same Kenya and get him down to Nigeria, and he's facing justice now. That's why is this like a case of we're following process, diplomatic channels, etc., etc.
Believe you me, I want to tell you I don't know what you are talking about. All I know...
You seems not to know exactly what we are talking about here.
No. You are bringing an issue that Interpol is not aware of. You know, let me define the role of Interpol so that you can understand. Interpol is an international police organization that assists law enforcement agencies within the 196 countries to look for a fugitive that runs or is hiding. And if you look at all the other fugitives that are brought to face justice in Nigeria, they have the link, those who are involved with Interpol. So I don't know I don't want to talk about issue of Kanu, who brought him back to Nigeria. I'm not aware how he was brought back to Nigeria or how he came into Nigeria. Interpol is not aware. We stated this long time ago, and we made it categorically clear. So it's not a question. There are what we call police-to-police relationship, international police cooperation. Another police, it does not necessarily bring Interpol. If one police and another exchange a suspect is running from them, they can have an international police cooperation that out of the scope of Interpol. But however, if a notice is given to an individual, like blue notices, when the inmates in Kuje prison escaped, we did a biometric capture of those suspects, and we shared it with international communities. We shared it with our law enforcement agencies. Many of them were re-apprehended because we have their biometrics. Now, in the issue of red notice, where a red notice is issued under the federal court that issued that notice of arrest, that is warrant of arrest for such international, it will go to the Interpol, we'll process it, we'll look at it, we'll look at the charges, and then we'll issue a red notice. On that red notice, we bring back the culprit to face justice because all the 196 countries will be looking for that individual.
Would sincerely like to thank you, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Garba Umar, who is currently the Vice
anyị wee tụle ya onye si na agata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fee arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị iwe were iwe gị na ọnụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị kunie ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị niile n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọbụla anyị mara aka n'ime ha si na ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ ọjọọ aga ka isi wee hụ ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro bi na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe tịtụ ozu ọ bụ ọkọwa mgbe emilere Goliat Chineke nna nke igwe ruo ememile Fero sikwa otu a mee ka Fero bụ ọgụzọ n'ihu ụmụ ndị IPOB ka o wee taa akọpụ iguni ọtọ ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ gụ nwa bụ ekekere n'igwe n'ụwa nwunye ọbụla kere gị nweghị mmalite nweghị ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị bụ anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama mara akọ na okwu gị na-anọgide gị ruo mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ ha abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe mee ka ebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha dị ibu Chukwu nke abịa ma
Ise. I welcome you, Biafrans. Welcome to this evening program here on this platform, IPOB Western Cape Media TV. I welcome you, all lovers of freedom, friends of Biafrans. I welcome you, every one of you that has seated at this time to be with us here on this program this evening. I welcome you in the name of Chukwu Ikebema Premierine. I say to you, welcome. And as I welcome you, I also want you and also ask you to welcome those around you, welcome your friends, welcome your family, welcome your relative, and all lovers of freedom that lives within you. I want you to know that this evening we'll be converging here as usual because today is Monday and here we make it as a duty to always host our weekly program on every Monday. So you have to make it as a date to always join us every Monday as we converge. So I want you to remember to share our programs. Share this program this evening, share it, like it, comment on the live program. If necessary, you have to do all these things. Share the program so that those who does not know that we are live may know, and those who have never come across this page may come across it. And we encourage you to do so. That is all we ask you to do. If you know what you can do for Biafra to come, you do it. If it is to be sharing our program, you do it. It's not a big job to do. It's something that is there at the tip of your finger. You can just press like, you can just press share, whichever way that you deemed fit. And all I want you to do is to participate on what we have
every time we come live. We are not here on our own. We are here because Chukwu Ikabiama asked us to come. And if you find yourself as one of those that is joining us, know it that you're choosing, because it is only the chosen ones that are here. Because here we do not engage in propaganda. We do not engage in frivolities. We do not engage on name calling or trying to malign someone's names or assassination of people's character. We are here for the business that has to do with Biafra restoration. We are here to speak on behalf of our people. We are here to represent Biafra, and we are not going to allow anybody to distract us. We are focused, and we shall remain focused. So I welcome you to this evening edition. I want you to know that we are live on our Facebook page, IPOB Western Cape Media TV. You can join us there. Also, we are live on our YouTube channel, IPOB Western Cape Media TV. And also we are live on our X, formerly Twitter, IPOB Western Cape Media TV. This is our name. This is our logo. Anytime you want to see us, type IPOB Western Cape Media TV and you will find us. We are not hidden. We are not hiding. We are not faceless. We could be found anytime you want us. So this is IPOB Western Cape Media TV. Here we speak nothing but the truth. We are without fear or favor. We are fearless before our enemies. We are not here to represent any individual, but to represent and to defend our fatherland, Biafra. Because for us, it is Biafra today, tomorrow, and forever. If you are offended by our resolve, we have no apologies for that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, worldwide, and his position is incontestable. IPOB is here to restore Biafra, and we are not going to be swayed until Biafra is restored. This is IPOB Western Cape Media TV, saying it the way it is. That is our logo. We are known for that because we are fearless. Why should we be afraid of you? Why should we be afraid of speaking the truth? Why should we be afraid of him who can kill the body but cannot touch the soul? We are born for this, and we are determined to execute our destinies. So we are not afraid of anybody. We are not afraid to speak the truth. All we own you is to tell you the truth, speak the truth. That is what Biafra is. That is what the agitation is all about. It's about speaking the truth. Everything you hear us say about the zoo is nothing but the truth. We are not making anything up. We back everything we do with evidence, video evidence, photo evidence, and every evidence that is available to us. So it's not that we are making up anything. We are not trying to paint zoo red or black or dark or whatever because we want freedom. No. We are telling them who they are, and what they represent. That is the truth. That was what Mazi Kanu was doing. Because of that, he was kidnapped, and today he has been incarcerated because he speaks the truth. Are we going to be afraid? No. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to build on that. Today, I was listening to Iwayamu's interview on Njenje. He said one thing that pleases my heart, one thing that makes my heart so happy. You know, today when he was asked about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or something, he said that he has told Nigerian government, he has told them as a sound of warning, he has told them as advice that under no circumstances shall they allow anything to go wrong with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That if anything should go wrong against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that he is promising them that he cannot control the Igbo nation or Biafran nation, as the case may be. But he was talking about Ndi Igbo in particular. So he made that comment as Ndi Igbo. So at least I have made that comment here, or statement here, that if anything goes wrong, Nigeria should make it, they should not take it as one of those things. They cannot control it. Everybody will feel it, will hear it, and at the end of the day, there may not be anybody left to carry on. But one promise is that let nothing happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They should make sure. So I'm happy that people like Iwanyanwu also hold the same view, and he has spoken the same word, the same language that we speak from this platform. So I'm happy about that. So that is it. So without boring you this evening, before I properly start, I bring you greetings, Biafrans, from my coordinator, Mazi Innocent Alia. Mazi Innocent Alia is the IPOB Western Cape Zone Coordinator. Mazi Innocent Alia is a real Biafran who is fighting day and night to make sure that Biafra is restored. He has given his all for IPOB Western Cape as a whole to be a success. Because of him, we are standing. Because of him, we are carrying on. Because of him, Biafra, IPOB Western Cape is what it is today. So I want you to also know and understand that there are many impostors who may come to you and say, I am the Western Cape coordinator. I am the Western Cape IPOB representative. I want you to know that such person is nothing but a scam. He's a scammer. He's fake. He's a criminal. And you must despise the person, reject him, and make sure that you cast him far away from you. We have only one IPOB Western Cape representative in the person of Mazi Innocent Alia, as stated in our IPOB Code of Conduct. We have rules and regulations, how IPOB is run. IPOB is not a banana republic organization where you can remove and put at will. No, there is a process, and that process must be followed according to IPOB Code of Conduct. So I also bring you greetings, fellow Biafrans, from all the coordinators we have here on IPOB, in IPOB Western Cape Media, IPOB Western Cape Zone. I also bring you greetings from the executive of IPOB Western Cape Zone. I want you to know that here men are still working assiduously, as stated, directed by IPOB Code of Conduct, to make sure that Biafra is restored. I am proud of IPOB Western Cape, and I shall continue to be proud of us. I shall continue to be proud of you. You guys are trying. You guys are resolute. You guys are determined. You guys are powerful. So continue doing what you are doing. Continue doing what you are doing. The spirit of Biafra will never forsake you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is proud of you. And I want you to know that this platform in which you are viewing us this evening is being sustained, sponsored by organized by IPOB Western Cape. It's truly and completely owned by IPOB Western Cape. This is the only one, Banon. You cannot find any other zonal platform in the whole world where IPOB is mentioned. Here is the only zonal platform, Banon, in the whole IPOB worldwide. So we are proud of our achievements so far. We are proud of us. We are proud of our coordinator, Mazi Innocent Alia. We are proud of everyone who has contributed directly to make sure that we are here today, because it takes a lot of money for us to be here. It's not free. It has never been free. So I want you to know that as we continue. My name is Mazi Buchi. I am your host, and by the special grace of Elohim, I am the Backlash Unit Coordinator. And also, I say to you this evening, good morning, good afternoon, Good evening and then good night to some of you. Depend where you are watching us from this evening. Yes, you are here live on IPOB Western Cape. So I welcome you properly as we commence this program this evening. Yesterday when I was live, I promised that I'm coming live today because I cannot miss it. Yesterday I told you that we'll be talking about our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's predicament, the injustice that has surrendered, or rather that is surrendering his case with Nigerian government, the politics of devilish politics that the Zoological Republic is playing on this. And before I go on, I want to remind you that this is our month of remembrance. The month of May is a month we remember our fallen heroes, those who paid the ultimate price, those heroes and heroines who has died that we may live, those who fought and shed their blood for us, those who are still fighting, those who are languishing in jail. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is one of them. We remember each and every one of us, our heroes, both dead and alive. This month we do all these things. We remember every one of them. If you are a hero, remember this is our month. We do not joke with this month. So on the 30th of May properly, Biafrans around the world is expected to gather, to converge, to perform a ritual, a kind of ritual or a ceremony, whichever way, to appease, to continue to appease the soul of the dead, and also to continue to urge them to keep fighting. We are fighting here, wherever they are, they must not rest in peace until Biafra is risen and Nigeria is down. That is our mission. That is the reason for this month. I want you to remember that you must make a date with 30th. As Chukwu Ikabiama preserve your life, do not forget that on the 30th of May, you must find out anywhere around your vicinity, or your location, wherever Biafrans gathered, go there and make sure that you represent yourself and your entire generation, because it is very, very important that you do so, because it is once a year that we do that. So that is what this month is all about. That is what we do this month. Last night we talked about how it all started, where we got it wrong, how everything happened, who led us into this slavery, who has caused us to lose everything that we hold there. So we cannot forget. So we have to go back to where it all began, from the very beginning, so we could be able to understand why we are where we are today as Ndibo, as Biafrans in that contraption Nigeria. And at the end of the program yesterday, we were satisfied to find out where our problems all began. And the solution to it is Biafra restoration. That is the only solution. That is what we are fighting for. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. That is what you that is watching me is fighting for. That is what every one of us that believe in Biafra are fighting for. So we are not giving up, and we are not even intending to give up, not in this life that we are. So I welcome you, my fellow Biafrans. And like also remember that this on the 20th of this month, Oyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is appearing in court again. He's appearing in court again on the 20th of this month. So in this month we are always hopeful, you know. We don't lose hope. Not that we hope, we have confidence in Nigerian courts, nor in Binta Yako or whoever, but because of the efforts of our Lego team, because of how skillfully they are, when it comes to interpretation of law and interpretation of Nigerian constitution, which is the strength, which is where everything starts and ends. So we're hopeful that that something tangible is going to come out on the 20th of this month. It does not mean that we are going to get tired if Nigerian government play their abracadabra again as usual. Whatever it is, we are hopeful. We believe that on the 20th of this month of May, that Binta Nyako will listen to the voice of reasoning. At least these few weeks that has passed, we're able to at least garner some support, or some voices has been added to what we are doing in regards to Onyendu Mazi Kano's predicament. One of them is the American government coming out to tell the world and about the injustices, the predicament, the inhuman, the violation of Mazi Kano's rights, and all that stuff. And in their submission, they call to Nigerian government to make sure that they do with that which is right. Secondly, we heard from Interpol. Also, we have played the video before this program this evening. We heard from the Interpol, which has come out to distance themselves from the Nigerian government shenanigans. They distance themselves and exposing that to the world and to the hearing of anyone who cares to listen, that they are not aware of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's kidnap. They have not been aware. They are not part of it. So anybody that is trying to draw them close or bring them to be involved in this, that person is nothing but a demented soul. So these two developments in the past week has given us another sense of it has given us confidence. It has given us another opportunity to expect, to believe that at least with the American government speaking, Nigeria will listen. We hope so. Because if you remember in the past, UN has come out to speak. Did Nigerian government listen? No. Nigerian courts has spoken. Did Nigerian government listen? No. Today, American government and UN has come out to condemn Nigeria. So let us hope that this time around they are going to listen. They're going to be listening to voice of reasoning and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and allow him to go home. It has never been recorded anywhere that IPOB, under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, died or did anything to any civilians or not even civilians, both the forces of the force. When I mean the force, I mean the military, the police, and all that stuff. It has never been recorded that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB touched any soul. So when you ask Nigeria, where did you get your terrorism charges? It's only them that knows. And we are waiting for them to come out in court and convince us that, and they convince the judge that indeed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. We know that they don't have any case. We know that they can never convict Onyendu because he had committed no crime. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was only exercising his right as a citizen, as a human being. So it is not done that anybody is tagged a terrorist because he acts for his freedom. So we are waiting for Nigerian government, and what we are saying to Binta Enyako, whatever her name is to do things the right way. Like we always say in this program, we are not begging Binta Enyako for favor. We are not expecting Binta Enyako to do us any favor. We know that even if there is such thing as favor, that she will never grant it to us. So the only thing we are asking Binta Enyako is to follow the Constitution of Nigeria in her dealings with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's right to fair hearing. She must allow, she must make sure that his right to fair hearing is protected. And also, I want her to also remember it is her duty to enforce the rulings of Supreme Court of Nigeria. Now, Supreme Court of Nigeria has told her to restore Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's bail, which she revoked. Let me just say, in error. She revoked it in error. So now, she has come to understand that she committed a blunder by revoking that bail. Now, we are asking her to also be human enough and restore the bail according to the decisions of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, which she is under the obligation to carry out. Yes, that is all we're asking Binta Enyako to do. She must do this thing so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could go back and start enjoying her bail while the trial continues. We are not asking Nigeria to drop any case. We know we are going to disgrace them. It is written, ordinary. We shall disgrace them. So we are not running away from this, what's it called? From this trial. All we are saying is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be allowed to go home while he comes to court for his trial. His bail should be restored. That is all we're asking Binta Enyako to do. So that is it. So now, the other day, there was a press release which was held by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's Lego team. And in that press conference, they tried their best to bring it to the hearing of the world and to remind Nigeria to do the right thing. Now, let me play this video. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay.
Before the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, complaining about the Python dance and proscription of IPOB, and he won. The African Commission, which is a branch of the African Union, wrote a letter to the then president calling for implementation of certain things they asked him to do. One of them being that he should thenceforth cease and desist from further prosecutions or law enforcement actions against IPOB members, and in particular, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That decision was ignored. The United Nations intervened in 2020 and 2021 with similar decisions. Those two were also ignored. After his rendition, the United Nations intervened again in July 2021 and issued a celebrated opinion that he should be released unconditionally. That too was ignored. Now, a high court, a federal high court sitting in Omaha in October 2022 issued a decision condemning his detention, declaring it illegal and non-constitutional, his current detention in Abuja. That too was ignored. Back in January 2022, a high court of the state of Abia had awarded him 1 billion naira as compensation for the damages he suffered or that issued from that infamous Python dance. Payment of that compensation is outstanding. So also is the apology to him that the court had ordered. And then finally, last year in October, a high court in Enugu State declared that the executive or administrative actions taken by the Southeast governors and the federal government back in 2017 to proscribe IPOB and declare it a terrorist organization, those actions were unconstitutional under Section 42 of the Constitution. This is important because Nigerians, all Nigerians, are supposed to be treated equally. What had happened to IPOB in 2017 in terms of the proscription was a stark evidence of discrimination, which is unconstitutional under Section 42 of the Constitution. We have been saying that until last year in October, when a high court agreed that that is so. We had figured that in an enlightened society such as ours, which is subject to rule of law, the federal government would have taken steps pursuant to that judgment of October last year to file some sort of application to withdraw the proscription of IPOB as it is and to cancel the terrorist toga that is placed on IPOB. Why? Because that very proscription in 2017, being ex parte, did not give opportunity to IPOB or any of its members to make representations as to why it should not be proscribed or as to why it should not be declared a terrorist organization. That offends Section 36 of the Constitution, which requires that any law that derogates from the right of any Nigerian, his right to fair hearing, should have given him an opportunity to make representations. So these are the several violations. And unfortunately, these violations have led to incalculable damage to citizens of this country, to innocent people, mostly in the Southeast and South-South. Hundreds have been killed in pursuit or in law enforcement actions related to fighting IPOB. It's wrong to do all that on a mere ex parte order. Thousands are languishing in detention, and of course, you know, Nnamdi Kanu himself is also languishing in detention following his rendition. So too many bad things have happened, and we're hoping that we'll come full circle to a point where people will sit back, government officials, the federal government, led by President Ahmed Tinubu, to look again at this case and to see whether this case has any merit at all, or whether the case was, as it were, politically motivated to the point that the present administration should not have any business inheriting it. When someone says, I do not want to belong to a country anymore, you don't lock him, you don't pursue him with bullets and manacles and all kinds of things to put him in jail or to prosecute him. You try to talk to him. That, I think, is the more sensible thing to do than this law enforcement. That is not going to be the solution to it. Thank you. My colleague now will say a few things, and then we are going to conclude the press conference.
Our fear is the way and manner we are being denied access to him. As lawyers, we are entitled to meeting with our client, Nnamdi Kanu, liaising with him, discussing and hearing from him what defenses he has against those charges. But each time we make effort towards seeing him, we are restrained by the DSS. I'm a victim. The allegations against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu are personal allegations against him. He's the only person that can tell his lawyers what he did and what he did not do, and what line of defenses he could rely on. And that is why Section 36 of Section 6, Paragraph G, Paragraph C, says that as an accused person, he's entitled to a lawyer of his choice. Now, in an attempt to utilize that opportunity, we go to him to hear from him, get his line of defenses, because we are not there when these allegations were made. We are not there when he's said to have committed these offenses. He's the only one that can tell us what defenses he has. But we are restrained. We are not allowed to liaise with him. If we go with documents, for him to tell us his reactions to those documents are seized from us, they are scanned, they are photocopied. In the long run, we may not even get those documents back. Now, if we say, okay, please, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, charge number so and so says this is what you did, what is your reaction to it? We are not even allowed to take those documents to him. Those documents are seized from us.
Take notes.
And if we want to take note, they say this is the limited number of pages you can write from what he's telling you. These things affect the facilities the Constitution says he's entitled to. That is the provision of Section 36, subsection 6, paragraph G of the Constitution. That is our fear. It's not that we are disposed to accelerated hearing. We will in the long run succeed. But where we are not allowed access to him, or even the little access we are not allowed to get information from him, get documents from him, get him signed documents for change of counsel. We are constrained to say that this is not how it is done elsewhere. And we are two parties are contesting over a case in a court of law, and there is no equality. There is discrimination. Somebody has upper hand and is being allowed. I doubt if that prosecution or whatever we call it is the best as done in any other country. Wonderful. That is what we think is wrong. And if they allow us access as required by law, we will come here and celebrate with you when the man will be discharged, acquitted, and compensated. Thank you.
Now, that was Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's legal team. They were trying to alert the world about the predicament of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So now, and the IPOB, because they drew even the proscription of IPOB, because that is where everything started. Everything started by the proscription of IPOB. And you would ask yourself, who proscribed IPOB? It was not Nigerian government that proscribed IPOB. It was the governor, the 5 eastern states governors. They were the ones who proscribed IPOB in 2017. But I know it was supervised by the then president of the zoo, Buhari, who used those stooges in our land. And you know that all of them that participated in that crime, they are no more governors in their state. Talk about Obiano. Talk about Zirosas Okorocha. Talk about the one in Enugu State, the former governor of Enugu State. Am I correct? Then talk about Umahi. These are the people that proscribed IPOB. These are the people that proscribed IPOB. They assisted the Nigerian government to proscribe IPOB in 2017. And when you go back to 2017, 2015, 2016, 2017, you will find out that IPOB were peaceful. There was no case of violence when it comes to IPOB, because the only thing that IPOB does then was protest on the street of Aba or Nature, where in all these states. Protest, they only protest with their flags, drums, and other things that they have, which is not weapon. They did not steal from anybody. They did not buy anybody. They did not fought with the police or did anything wrong. The only wrong they did was because of the magnitude of crowd. So because of that, the then governors of the 5 eastern states got scared. They got scared that IPOB has grown to a level where if care is not taken, they are going to take over the states away from them. So start to sit for meetings to make plans. They call Mazen Kano. They went with Mazen Kano. They had meetings with Mazen Kano, where Mazen Kano gave them, the requests of the people. So, and asked them to take it to Abuja to go and submit it to then government of Nigeria, if they can meet these things that the agitation will end. Because then Mazen Kano was still dangling between restructuring Nigeria and getting Biafra. So if Nigeria was restructured, or rather, if things were fixed according to his demand, was the second Niger bridge, the ports in our territory to be reopened, to build good roads, hospitals, and make things workable in our territory again. So that if they could meet that things will get better. But do you know what they did? Instead of them to honor that agreement, or instead of them to do what they agreed with Mazen Kano, they went and proscribed IPOB. That was the turning point. The kidnap of Mazen Kano, the Python dance 1, Python dance 2, Python dance 3, Python dance 4, and all the Python dances in our land you saw that followed, the attempt in the life of Mazen Kano, everything happened because the 5 eastern state governors proscribed IPOB. If you listen to the legal team of Mazen Kano, he talked about ex-parte order. The ex-parte order that the Nigerian government obtained is not, it's one side, when what ex-parte in law means one side. You heard a story, like now I have issue with you, I said, and then I rush to court and get an ex-parte order against you, and the next thing is you were arrested and thrown to jail without giving you time to state your own side of the story. That was why when IPOB challenged that ex-parte order, Nigerian government keep running away, because it is not enough to go and obtain an ex-parte order against a group of people or an individual. You guys have to come to court to make it official, because you cannot in the Bosin it must be between the two sides. It's just like now that Nigerian government has accused Mazen Kano of terrorism. The next thing that the Nigerian court will do is to sign it and send Mazen Kano to go and face the music without allowing Mazen Kano to defend himself. So now that was exactly what happened. Nigerian government block any chances of IPOB challenging the ex parte order. That is where we are till date. So you ask yourself, why is Nigerian government running away every time? They are running away. They keep running away from their own court. You prescribe IPOB through ex parte order, which is illegal. It is not done anywhere in the world. You cannot judge by one side. You must hear from both parties for you to make a decision if that party, if the other party is the accused is wrong or not. But in the case of Mazen and IPOB, because you have to give a dog a bad name to kill it. So now, the only bad name that they could give to IPOB in order for them to clamp down on IPOB was to prescribe IPOB through ex parte order, which they did. They went to court. It was court that gave them that, the ex parte order, which they used to prescribe IPOB. So this is systematically martial art plans by the Nigerian government and their stooges in our land to clamp down on us. They wanted to shut IPOB up, whether by if whichever means necessary. So that is where everything. So the kidnap of Mazen Khan, everything you see playing out after that proscription, it's all we only have those 5 Igbo governors of the time to blame for it. They are involved, and you know what? They are today. No, they are no more governors. You know, when they are in that position of government or governor or whichever way, they think that it's going to last forever. Today, they are no more governors, but the chaos they created, the demons, the monsters they created, is still destroying things in our land. As it stands today, none of them have right or have the power anymore to undo what they have done again, because they are no more in control of the power. The power has been collected from them. They are now ordinary citizens. But when they were there, just like those ones there now, doing things, forgetting that in a very short time, they are going to do what? They are going to drop that which, you know, today, even those governors, those former governors that prescribe IPOB, the way things are in our land, they could not also come to their villages anymore. They couldn't. They couldn't also enjoy peace in our land anymore. What was the crime of IPOB? What is terrorist? Who is a terrorist? Who is a terrorist? Now, let us go on. Let us ask, who is a terrorist? Who is a terrorist? Terrorism, in its broadest sense, is the use of violence against non-combatants to achieve political or ideological aims. The term is used in this regard, primarily referred to intentional violence during peacetime or in the context of war against non-combatants, mostly civilians and neutral military personnel. There are various different definitions of terrorism with no universal agreement about it. Different division of terrorism emphasize its randomness, its aim to instill fear, and its broader impact beyond its immediate victim. Now, when you look at how they continue going down, now they give instances. The times terrorists and terrorism originated during the French Revolution of the late 18th century, but became widely used internationally and gained worldwide attention in the 1970s during the troubles in Northern Ireland, the Basque conflict, and the Israeli-Palestine conflict. The increased use of suicide attacks from the 1980s onward was typified by the 2011 September 11 attack in the United States. The global terrorism database maintained by the University of Maryland has recorded more than 61,000 incidents of non-state terrorism, resulting in at least 140 deaths between 2000 and 2014. So, look at it and tell me, where did IPOB fall into these things? How? Where did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB fall into? What is the modus operandi of IPOB? Now, let me show you modus operandi of IPOB. Let me show you how we roll. And now you judge by yourself if that has anything to do with being a terrorist. I just read to you what terrorism is all about, who is a terrorist and who is not. So just let me, where is this? Okay.
AIG, there are not a few who believe that the pace at which the Interpol International and Interpol Nigeria are working is quite interesting. They point to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed group, IPOB, he didn't take long for them to grab him from the same Kenya and get him down to Nigeria, and he's facing justice now. That's why is this like a case of we're following process, diplomacy.
Just a minute, this, I don't know where is this now? I know me one of this. Okay. Now, let me show you how IPOB roll. This is IPOB.
Those are the supporters of the director of Radio Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, clamoring for his release there. Members of the indigenous people of Biafra have been protesting in the streets of Asaba, the Delta State capital, calling for the release of their acclaimed leader. Hundreds of protesters trooped out to the Asaba Benin Expressway today, blocking one side of the road and impeding traffic. The resultant gridlock forced transporters to divert their route into Asaba main town and disrupting traffic flow in the metropolis. Police patrol teams eventually had to take over traffic control duties to ensure smooth vehicular movement.
Now I'm going to replay it again. This is how IPOB works. If you look at these guys, you tell me.
Those are the supporters of the director of Radio Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, clamoring for his release there. Members of the indigenous people of Biafra have been protesting in the streets of Asaba, the Delta State capital, calling for the release of their acclaimed leader. Hundreds of protesters trooped out to the Asaba Benin Expressway today, blocking one side of the road and impeding traffic. The resultant gridlock forced transporters to divert their route into Asaba main town and disrupting traffic flow in the metropolis. Police patrol teams eventually had to take over traffic control duties to ensure smooth vehicular movement.
That was in 2017 when Mazen Kanu was in detention. That was before the proscription. If you hear where the newscaster is, or the narrator was trying to tell that they block one side of the road and police has taken over the job of that, trying to direct the traffic, because of the protest there was a gridlock because they blocked one road trying to protest without harassing anybody, without guns, without shooting at anybody, without stealing from anybody. They were peacefully protesting, asking the government of Nigeria to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You didn't hear anybody, or you didn't see the military shooting at them, because then there was no proscription on IPOB. IPOB was not proscribed then. That was why you did not see the military shooting at them or police killing anybody, buying anybody or doing something like that. But immediately the proscription of IPOB by the 5 eastern state governors through ex parte order, IPOB could not protest peacefully anymore. That was when you begin to hear about the Python dance 1, Python dance 2, Python dance 3, and the other Python's dance that followed. That was when everything scattered in our land. And up till even when these things were going on, the Nigerian government were shooting at our people and buying them in their numbers, IPOB never raised weapon against Nigerian government. So now what you ask yourself is, what brought the prosecution of IPOB by then governors of 5 eastern states? Not even one governor opted out. All 5 of them agreed that IPOB should be proscribed. It was a unanimous agreement by the former 5 eastern states, eastern governors of our land. That was where we are. That is how we got to. So those governors, those former governors, they have questions to answer. Today, there are no more governors. But their crime, the seed they sowed in our land has germinated and bear evil fruit. which has littered all over our land. They opened the door for the bloodthirsty Fulani president of Nigeria then, late Muhammadu Buhari, to come into our land and buy our youth for ordinarily asking for what is rightfully ours. IPOB challenged this in ECOWAS courts, which they won, and the Nigerian was asked to make amend. Series of courts in our land has condemned that act of illegal proscription of IPOB. But everything fall to a deaf ears. Nigerian government continue to act against our people. Today, Mazi Kanu was kidnapped. In case you don't know, Mazi Kanu was kidnapped after Nigerian government attacked his house, killed over 28 people. Mazi Kanu had to run away. The Nigerian government followed him all the way to kidnap him. After kidnapping Mazi Kanu, they had to bring him back through illegal means, where they have kept him in solitary confinement in DSS dungeon till this moment as I'm speaking for you. Court in Abia State has asked Nigerian government to free Mazi Kanu, return him to where they got him, that it is illegal and against Nigerian law to commit, for a government or anybody to commit the act of kidnap. Nigeria did not follow it. They did not honor it. They did not do anything to solve that problem. Another court in Enugu also asked Nigerian government to do same thing, which they said they must apologize to Mazi Kanu and also pay him the sum of 1 billion naira for breaking his human rights, for the attempts in his life, and everything that followed, and for the extraordinary renditioning him back to Nigeria after kidnapping him in Kenya. That order was not honored. Appeal court, after looking into the case, they told Nigerian government that for the singular act of going to kidnap Mazi Kanu, breaking the law of the land, dishonoring the constitution of Nigeria, for that singular act, you have lost legitimacy to this case. You have lost it, and because you have lost it, you have no right to keep Mazi Kanu or to try Mazi Kanu, because you cannot benefit from your own wrongs. It is not done. You cannot benefit from your own wrongs. It is the duty of the government to make sure that the law and order is maintained in the land. When government has turned rogue, when government has turned lawbreakers, when government has turned outlaw, when government has turned terrorists, then what do you expect the ordinary citizens of the land to do? That is why today in Nigeria, kidnapping is one of the lucrative business in Nigeria today. Chukwu has opened the floodgate of terrorists and allowing terrorists all over Africa to enter into Nigeria. That is why even in their states, even in the capital territory, the terrorists are there kidnapping people. In the villages, the terrorists are there kidnapping people. Those that could not pay ransom, or those that are just not lucky enough, will end up losing even their lives. Because Nigeria government accepted to go all the way to commit act of kidnap in order for them to bring somebody that is an innocent person, even a guilty person, a fugitive in the right sense, a criminal, you cannot kidnap him. Not talk of going after a freedom fighter who is innocent, who has not by anybody, who has not committed any offense known to law. That is why the Nigerian government is scrambling for charges. Today they will charge him. What is the one they charged him before? They will charge him. I continuously forget these charges. Eh? The one they charged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before. I continuously forget that whenever I am here. But immediately I finish this live now, I will remember it. What is that formal charges that let me go and get it. Let me go and get it. Treasonable felony. That was why they are scrambling for charges. They're charging for treasonable felony. What is treasonable felony? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no treasonable felony when it comes to agitation. He has not. Treasonable felony is when you try to overthrow a government, a legitimate government. Like those who engage in coup. If the coup failed, they will be judged based on treasonable felony, trying to overthrow a legitimate government. Or when one raises arms against government, and that is also trying to overthrow a government. That is when you say the person commits the act of treasonable felony. In the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there was nothing such. It's just for you to understand how I don't know these Fulani people. I don't know if these people are, if they are human beings or not. They just go around, just bring anything, put it on his head. Just that is all. They don't have sense. Because they don't believe in law. They don't believe in law and order. They believe in they are what's it called? They are nomadic in nature. They don't have anything to do with order, law and order. So they are scrambling for charges. The other time it was treasonable felony. What does treasonable felony got to do with agitation? That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is agitating on radio. What does treasonable felony got to do with IPOB protesting on the street harmlessly? How? What is treasonable felony about that? So because they could not, the treasonable felony could not hold anymore, they go by the night and remove treasonable felony. Now replace it with terrorism. Now you ask them again, what is terrorism got to do with one who is agitating, who is expressing his human rights? What is terrorism about somebody who has not by anybody? What is terrorism about somebody who has not hurt any soul, who has not harmed any soul, who has not taken any life? What is terrorism about it? Is it now terrorism for me to be here speaking to my people? Is it now terrorism for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to speak through the radio? I know everyone in our land know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. The president of Ohanaeze Ndigbo said it, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. He has not committed any offense known to law. He said it today in his program. that he has warned the Nigerian government to make sure that nothing should happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention. That is it. So where is Nigerian government getting this rubbish, this nonsense that they have decided to use to delay or to persecute someone who is simply expressing his right as a human being? Self-determination is there in Nigerian constitution, in African charter, is there in Nigerian constitution, signed into Nigerian constitution. So now when you express your right to self-determination, the same Nigeria now turns back to tag you a terrorist for saying, let my people go. Is that for saying I am done, I want a new country? Now listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team said, a special counsel said.
Self-determination. Self-determination is not regarded as a crime in any nation of the world, including Nigeria, under Article 20 of Nigerian law. That's Semi-African Charter, Article 20. Now, Kenya has a companion law. United Nations has a companion law. So when you take anybody to any court in any country in the world, and you tell that court, I want him in my country because he wants Biafra, they will tell you to go to hell. You're a kidnapper extraordinary, whether you are government or not. You're a rogue. You should not try anybody in court for wanting to not to belong, for wanting a separate nation. That's how Nigeria was founded, for God's sake, in 1960. Is it not? It's self-determination. That was how Midwest region was created in 1963. Is it not? That's how Nigeria lost Southern Cameroons to Cameroon. Is it not? Is that called referendum or plebiscite? And that's how Nigeria gained Adamawa, the former Southern province of Cameroons, into northern Nigeria. So why should that of Biafra be different? It's only a crime in Nigeria. IPOB is only a terrorist organization in Nigeria, but not a terrorist organization all over the world. That needs to tell you folks something. That is why Nigeria dodged and went by night, ambushed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and kidnapped him. We cannot take a government to criminal court and jail a government, but we can call a government to answer to the civil courts of this country. There are courts in this country, so Nigerian government must answer to this court, like I argued before the court, upon.
That is exactly what I'm trying to explain to you. So, hearing from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Special Counsel, Barrister Lloyd Jumako, you will understand that as far as this case is concerned, the Nigerian government stand no chance. They stand no chances at all. And they knew. They understand it. That is why they are using Binta Nyako to do what? To try to delay justice. What Binta Nyako is doing is playing in the hands of Nigerian government and also toiling with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's freedom by allowing Nigerian government to use her or to be using her to pervert justice. Because what it is now is completely a perversion of justice. Binta Nyako should know better. Binta Nyako is a judge. Binta Nyako understands what law is all about, or should I say, Binta Nyako should understand what law is about. You should understand that it is her right to make sure that justice prevails in the life of the citizens of Nigeria. She should understand that the reason why she is there in that chamber, in that court in Abuja, is for her to defend the rights of the innocent, is for her to protect the rights of the citizens of Nigeria, is for her to defend and uphold the Constitution of Nigeria. That is the reason she is there. She is not there to defend the government of Nigeria against the citizens of Nigeria. She is there to be fair in her judgment. She is there to defend the truth. She is there to do the right thing. That is why it is her duty to defend the Constitution of Nigeria. As it stated that it is her duty to enforce the rules and the decisions that emanate from the Supreme Court of Nigeria. It is her right to enforce it as a court of competent jurisdiction under the Supreme Court of Nigeria, because every other court is under the Supreme Court of Nigeria. As long as Nigeria is concerned, Nigerian courts are under the supremacy of Supreme Court of Nigeria. So Binta Nyako should know this. Binta Nyako should understand that the world is looking at her. The world is expecting her to do the right thing, to do the needful. Come 20th of May, 2024, the world is expecting her to restore the original bail of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as directed by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. She must obey that. She must enforce it. Under no circumstances shall Binta Nyako do anything contrary to that. That is what we are saying. So I am calling out Binta Nyako, as always, to remember that we are watching. The world is watching. American government has come out and indicted Nigeria on this issue. So they are watching, they are following the case. I know that Britain is an evil country. Britain is an enclave that is inhabited by demons. British government, they are evil. British government are worse than terrorists. British government are evil. In fact, it has not been recorded in this world, present world that we are, that British government has ever done anything right. What is colonization? British government has had colonized the whole world. British government has always been evil. They have never taken or undertaken any parts of restitution, trying to do things right. They can never regret anything. They do not apologize. They do not regret. British government is evil, and they are purely embodiment of Satanism. I don't know how that country, I don't know how they go to bed and sleep at night, knowing fully well that they are the cause of the problem, the confusion that is going on around the world today. I don't know how that country is that wicked. I said it. If British visa is for free, I am not gonna go. Go and ask anybody who knows me. I never wanted to set my feet on the soil of Britain. The only time that I may be forced to go there is because I am a Chelsea supporter, a Chelsea fan. The only place I would, if it is possible, is for me to go there, hang on the air without letting my feet march on the soil of Britain. That country is evil. That country is evil. And you know what? Evil shall continue to follow Britain all the rest of their lives. They will never understand what is happening to them. They will be running when nothing is chasing after them. Their kingdom is about to be torn apart. You know, Biafra, because of their participation in the genocide against Biafrans, because of their hatred against Biafrans, Biafrans will be their end. When they fight against Mazinam they are fighting against the spirit of Biafra. They are fighting against Chukwokika Biam. And everything is being counted and kept aside for a day of reckoning is coming. Fast approach, and on that day, Britain will begin to run when nothing is chasing after them. They are evil. That is why it is so heavy in their mouths to come out and condemn this act against their citizen, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If they could not speak for their citizen, is it a non-citizen that they will speak for? Because of their evil agenda, because of their interest, because of what they are gaining, because of material things that they are gaining from our land. That is why they are determined to wipe us away. That is why they determined that we should remain their slave. Our ancestors were enslaved, colonized by their ancestors. After them, subsequently, the next generation after them, and now to our generation. And after our ancestors served their ancestors, this current generation also wants us to serve them too. That is the evil of Britain. That is why in this evil predicament that has befallen Oyeduma Nnamdi Kanu, America has come to condemn it. UN has come out to condemn it. Other governments of the world has come out to condemn it. But the British government that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was traveling on their passport found it very, very difficult to make a statement to condemn this act being perpetrated on their citizens. That is what is playing out here. Because we know, the world knew that Britain is involved in what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because everybody knows that even the Interpol that came out the other day is involved in what happens to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But everything that you see was happening, it was not official. It was not official. It was not. British government, it will not take them anything to come out to say, Nigerian government, you have committed evil. Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is all they needed to do. We were not asking them to say, oh, Biafra, go. It is not in their power to give us freedom. It is not in their power to give us freedom. You see? But all we are asking them to do is to assist. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is their citizen. He has rights as a bona fide citizen of Britain. He is a citizen of Britain. So what is British interest in this? What is their duty as a mother country? Why should they keep mute when other countries that has nothing to do with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has come out to say things about it? Yes, we know. I know that British is part of it. I have said it here. British, they are part of the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but it has come to the point where they have to come out. The world is expecting them to do so. The world is looking at them. And everybody is saying, oh, now it is British turn to come and say something, make a statement about these things in regards to this evil that has been committed against your fellow citizens, a citizen who was traveling on your passport. You know, it makes it even more interesting that the person was traveling on British passport. That is it. So what stopped Britain from coming out to make a statement in regards to a fellow citizen who is being incarcerated in another country, who was kidnapped and the extraordinary rendition to another country? So that is what I'm saying. I have said it, that British government they are evil. Very, very evil. That country is a very evil, in fact, they are the problem of the world. Every problem you see today happening in this world were created by these same people, this same Britain. They are evil. But I know that very soon that karma will visit them. Their participation in the continuous elimination of Biafrans is going to be their undoing. Their hatred for us after bringing Christianity to us. I was born an Anglican. It's a church of England, which I'm happily no more part of today, at this moment, today. I'm happily no more part of that. I've returned back to my roots. But Britain brought Christianity into our land. And after bringing Christianity and gaining from us, they left us to be supporting those who did not agree to accept their religion. So what am I saying? I am saying to Binta Nyako that it is high time that she has to stand up and do the right thing. On the 20th of May, everyone will be looking at her. Everything is going to be on her again. And this time I pray and hope that she got it right. I pray and hope that Binta Nyako got it right. I have made statements here I said, is it possible that we should request for a new judge to handle this case? And when we research about it, we found out that it is possible that Mazen Kanu should ask or request for another judge based on the fact that this current judge that is handling this case is impartial. She is impartial. She is partial. To say. This current judge is partial. And when a judge is partial in a case, it is your right as the accused to seek for a change of judge. Because you cannot entrust your life to someone who is partial, who has already taken side with your adversary. You understand that? So, I don't know if Mazen Kanu's legal team has not looked towards this direction, but each time I talk about Mazen Kanu and his case and predicament, I always make this suggestion. If it is right, I think it is necessary, it is not necessary that they should put up that application. Because Binta Nyako is not willing to, she's not willing to make she's not willing to change. But I think next week, I mean, on the 28th of May is going to be the breaking point. If she still insists that things should not be done rightly, then I think it's the right time that our Lego team should start to look for something new. So we can go to someone who has not colluded, because as I have said the other time here in this program, I brought up a newspaper news from newspaper, which was talking about how Bintanyaku's husband and her son was indicted on a fraud, on is it fraud? No, on corruption. They stole from Adamawa government state. You know, the government, the husband used to be former governor of Adamawa state. So while he was the governor of Adamawa state, he stole a lot of money from the coffers of Adamawa state. He stole them dry. He floated fake and non-existent companies. He used some companies to launder money. So he was charged with corruption and money laundering. So because of that, Bintanyako happens to be in charge of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. So now, the former government of Nigeria, under the leadership of late Muhammadu Buhari, tried to use her to negotiate. So they told Bintanyako to play along, make sure that she convict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That was why when they came for her for the revocation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's bail, she jumped into it because she saw an opportunity to prove to Muhammadu Buhari then that she is willing to play ball. So now, after revoking the bail of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, she now declared Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wanted, and then seized all the bail bonds. Then now, Nigerian government she now gave Nigerian government the opportunity to go after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which Nigerian government went all the way to Kenya, kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, brought him back illegally to Nigeria, and since then, Bintanyako has been playing ping pong with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Bintanyako has not made any bold statement. Even when appeal court ruled, even when Supreme Court gave order that she revoked Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bail in error. It is not so. It was not supposed to be revoked because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was simply trying to live. Like I always say in this program, since I was living, since I grew up, become a man, I've never seen where a corpse was brought to before a judge in any court in the land, in the whole world. I've never seen where a corpse was brought to court. So it's only the living that can come to court to answer for themselves. And remember, they said, stand trial, not sit trial. It's stand trial. So before you come to court, you must be healthy. You can't be sick coming to court. So if you are sick, it is the judge's duty to remind you while you undergo treatment until when you are fit to stand trial, you now come back to court. So Bintanyako did not look into it because she has colluded with Nigerian government already. She has entered into an agreement with Nigerian government already. So she was only playing on a script. And the script was get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu convicted. So now she is only trying to play to fulfill that agreement so that the charges against her husband and her son could be dropped. You see where the problem is. That is why I keep saying, if it is necessary, if there is any way, let us request for a change of judge. Let us do that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team should listen to this and think towards this direction. I think Binta Nyako will never do anything right as far as this case is concerned, because she also have interest in the case. You cannot be a judge and at the same time you have interest. It is not possible. You must be neutral. You must be neutral. Binta Nyako is supposed to be neutral. Binta Nyako should only follow the rule, the law of the land. What is law of the land say about this issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Nigeria? Who is guilty and who is innocent? Who is oppressed and who is oppressor? That should be her. That should be her own part in this whole issue. Not taking side with Nigerian government and keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or leading her to Abattoir, where they will slaughter him. No, it is not so. That is why we shall continue to call Binta Nyako to order. We should continue to remind Binta Nyako that it is her right to defend the right of, it is her duty to defend and protect the right of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the reason she is there in the first place. That is what we are calling Binta Nyako to do. So we are hoping, believing that on the 20th of May, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to receive what is rightfully his. The bail should be restored. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be walking freely, going home. Then, if there is any trial, only then shall he prepare to come for the trial. But as it stands today, he can never be in Nigerian custody asking this trial, because it will simply means that his right has been trampled upon. His bail should be restored. He did not break his bail agreement. He only escaped for his life. That was the right thing to do. That is why we are still here talking about it. Because if those men have succeeded in 2017 eliminating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we won't be talking about his case today. The only reason we are talking about his case today is because he is alive. So we must make sure that his life is protected for us to see to the conclusive end to this case. So Binta Nyako should prepare her mind to do the right thing, irrespective of the agreement she had. She can see that it is not working because our eyes are widely open. We are watching. You cannot do that. So you must look for another way to do what you want to do. But in this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's issue, is not working. It's not going to work. So that is what we are here to, the message we are here to deliver this evening to Binta Nyako and to whom it may concern. We want the government of the world, those who has who have not spoken to come out and speak on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the injustice that is being meted at him. That is all we are calling the world to do. That is what we are asking the world to do, so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could leave the DSS dungeon and go to his father's house. That is what I've come here to deliver to you. So I thank you for joining me this evening, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom. It is always a pleasure to have you around. I'm so happy that you are here. I pray that Chukwu Kabiama will preserve and protect you. And also, I want you that if you have not shared this program, I want you to share it now. Do that now. Share the program right now. Share the program right away. Like and comment on this program. That is all we ask you to do, so that we shall continue to bring more news, more exposition to you. So share our program. Now, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go now and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have not followed us on our platform IPOB Western Cape Media TV Facebook page, you can follow us now. You can also go to X, Twitter, and also follow us. You need to follow us in all our social media platforms, and then activate your notification so that you know when we come live. So that is it. I thank you for your patience and for your support. I pray that next time when we come, you will be joining us. I say from here, it is good night.